Hello everybody, Terrence Popp here with another episode of Ridiculous.com. And today's episode was a request from an individual out there who wanted me to go over what to do if you're raised by a crazy mother. And there's a lot to be said about this subject. I've done a lot of research on narcissistic and bipolar and schizophrenia, and I rolled them all together because I only have two 4x4 boards. The shirt might be black, but so is my black heart. I got nothing but bad news for you, ladies. So let us begin. Yeah. If you go look at the encyclopedia of mental disorders, whatever it's called, you will see pages upon pages of symptoms. I can't put that up here on two 4x4 boards. I just hit the major ones. In my opinion, that book shouldn't really be called Abnormal Psychology, because when you go down the list of symptoms, they pretty much apply to all of us, including me, and I'm not crazy. So basically, it's normal to be abnormal, whoever that is.
I'm almost sure that was the name.
And here we go, the roller coaster of the rapid mood swings. And we know how this goes. You go up, you go down. She loves you, she hates you. She's sucking your weenie, punch you in the face. It's like, oh yeah. What's going on? Next, we have overreact. You do something that's fairly innocent and they just blow up on you. And I've actually encountered this where I got out of the shower and didn't dry off in the shower. I stepped out of the shower onto the shower mat and it got wet. Yeah. Total overreaction. And I believe that was my last day at that particular house. Everyone knows this. It's called manipulation. And face it, gentlemen, there's a reason there's the word man in it, because it applies to all of you and it's done all the time. And, edit that out. Hey! What's up with the firearm and the sword?
You were 15 minutes late.
Another thing that these Narbipolbitchistic women do is they are extremely, extremely negative, far beyond pessimistic. It's always like the end of the world kind of shit with them. Say you get a tax return and you get like $3,000 back, and they're like, hey, I got $3,000.
Well, we should have got 7.
And a lot of this comes from their overacting sense of entitlement, which was beaten into them by their mothers, who are also Narbipolbitchistic. They want more. They always want more because they can't understand normal thinking. A lot of these women, they put stuff in the bank to fight with you 5 years down the road.
When you received a text from a girl 5 years ago, what was that about?
You're like, what the f*** is this? You want to know where this comes from? I'm going to tell you right now. Basically, you chose to act like yourself around her.
How dare you do anything other than walk on eggshells in my presence and hand me money for no apparent reason?
I'm sorry, baby. Here's my wallet. It'll never happen. Don't you ever do that, gentlemen. I will come to your house and beat your ass. All right. I have a lot of experience in my younger days with guilt shaming. Until I learned how to defend my mind against it, it was quite destructive.
Oh, it's okay. I'll just stay home. Or I'll go mow the grass myself.
This is you when you're younger.
Yes, honey, you can come with me and all my friends to inappropriate clubs. It'll be great.
Or
I'll go out and mow the grass right now.
What you should really say is, hey, when you're done mowing that grass, come in, make me a sandwich, give me 2 beers and a BJ, or 1 beer and 2 BJs. Choice is yours. These women love to run on sympathy. They're always the victim. Something always terrible is going on in their life. It's the worst thing in the world. And in reality, it's a mosquito bite. And don't you dare come home and think you can vent to them and tell them how terrible your day was. Rufus, he fell off the 10-story platform and fell to his death.
Do you want to hear what happened in this house today while you're at your job?
Thanks for being so understanding. Winning no. But they like to blame everything. They take no responsibility. They blame everything so they can get yet more sympathy. They're always the victim, and it's full of shit. Because 80% of the time, they f***ing did it themselves. Edit that out. When this happens, it won't be long before she's out getting her tonsils buttered and pumped in the backside, and she's going to blame it all on you because it's your fault. And it's not. Nobody deserves that. And women who pull this bullshit, that's a well-rehearsed behavior, and they should go right to hell. Don't pass go, don't get $200, just fry in the cooker. Number 9 is they take no responsibility. They can drive your RV off the road and kill your entire family, and it's not their fault because they didn't know you couldn't make a sandwich in the back while the RV had cruise control on.
Officer, I didn't know I couldn't do that. It didn't say so in the book.
They're really good at doing this. They disregard your wants and needs. It could be small things like, cooking a food that you're allergic to and then you have an epileptic fit. Well, it could be something major, like you walk in the door and your bones are hanging out of your arm with a compound fracture and you're like, honey, drive me to the hospital right now. And she says,
Yes, we'll go to the hospital, but first I have to go to TJ Maxx to pick up the dress that's on sale.
now I know this is comedy, but guess what? These things really happen. These are true stories. A dude I know, broken arm, the bone wasn't sticking out, but it was bending at a weird angle because he crashed the front of his car and walked his ass to his house so his wife could drive him the second car to the hospital. And she did stop at JCPenney's to buy 2 dresses that were on sale. My bone is sticking out, bitch. They always gotta be one notch above you on everything. Totally narcissistic behavior. I had a terrible day today. I had to walk 25 miles and somebody went to the hospital. And they're like,
Well, you don't know what happened around here, do you?
oh, who cares? You're in a house with a dishwasher, a washer and dryer, and a TV. And it's warm. And you got food in the refrigerator. Right there. They always put you down. Your girlfriend comes over, they talk trash about you to make you look bad in front of the woman. And they do this so they can beat you down, so they can control you years after you leave the house. And you know what? This pattern will continue when you're an adult. You will find an exact model of your mother and she'll do the same shit to you. They find a fault in everything that you do because they drop you down and keep themselves above you. You can be like, hey, I scored 3 goals. Damn.
Yeah, but you let those 2 guys get by the score in the second half. I saw that.
What kind of shit is that? And this all really boils down to a simple lesson that you learned in kindergarten. You have 2 candles in a room, you blow one candle out, the other one doesn't burn twice as bright. Why don't you keep both candles going so you don't stumble around in the dark and hit yourself on the furniture? Because we all know a stub toe in the dark is a bitch. Just like your mother. They like to kick you when you're down, and they use that to further their own needs. And there is no honor in kicking a dude when he's down. Listen, this happens all the time. You make $80,000 a year and your company moves out of the country, you get laid off. All of a sudden you're on unemployment. And she just says, you know what, f*** you, you're not making money more, and she bails. Kick you when you're down and take half and leave you in the street crying for your mother, who will then kick you when you're down and take more of your shit. Narbipolbitchistic. There you go. I have 14 horrid behaviors, which are the most common of these bitches. But you're like, how can you tell? Well, usually if you have 2 or 3 brain cells behind your eyes and between your ears, right around 13, you'll be like,
That bitch is crazy.
if you find yourself having panic attacks or losing sleep because all you do is sit around and worry about disappointing your mother, she has succeeded in brainwashing you and basically shoved her hand up your ass and turned you into a sock puppet. If your mother makes you feel this way, she has failed in monumental stature because she's not raising a man, she's raising a mangina. But you find yourself doing things based on guilt, things that you don't want to do or you normally would never do. Through guilt, shame, and manipulation, you have lost all confidence in your ability to make rational decisions. It's just that simple. You'd be like, no. You see this all the time. You got that buddy who got married young and you only see him once a year at the bar. And even when you see him, he's like,
I should really call my wife because, I'm out 15 minutes past my curfew. Well, I gotta call my mother.
what? You're like 21. F*** that bitch. You gotta realize that's a trick they're doing to you and you gotta learn how to defend yourself against it. You have to recognize your surroundings and be prepared to act. They taught you this on Sesame Street when they go, one of these things is not like the other, and it won't take you long to figure it out for yourself.
My friend Johnny's mother doesn't act like this. Why does my mother act like this?
This usually applies for dudes that are older, but you have to set firm boundaries and be prepared to break contact if the boundary is broken, just so you can gain her respect and prove to her that you're not f***ing around. Move the edit that out. Emancipate yourself. Go to college, go get a job, do something. Just get out of the house. As long as you're living under her roof, she can pull the, you're living in my house and you'll go by my rules. Do not seek solace in the arms of another woman, because chances are your head is still clouded and you went to a woman that reminds you of your mother and you went from the frying pan right into the fire. Speak the truth and have no fear of doing so. I don't care if it's your mother or the best piece of slat C you ever tapped into. The truth will set you free. The truth hurts, and there's a reason for that. Saving her dignity and her feelings when she's a Narbipolbitchistic woman, it's really not in the equation because she doesn't give a shit about yours. You realize that somebody is throwing a guilt bomb on you and you're like, foolish mortal. My mother used to say this all the time.
You're so selfish. You've become the center of the universe.
And I go, oh really? I've become the center of the universe! She hated it. But hey, I disarmed the guilt bomb. With that being said, I was just kidding around. But if somebody actually does that and they mean it, punch him in the face. It's only assault. You'll be fine. And this is the hardest one to accomplish. But you have to be at ease with yourself. You need to be happy within your own skin. You need to have confidence in your decisions. Don't blame, don't point the finger, take responsibility, and if you screw up, forgive yourself and move forward. The hardest forgiveness that you can ever give is to forgive yourself. Live your life, okay? Who cares what she says, all right? You are grown up, you're an adult now. You want to bang strippers? Go bang strippers. Got her in. Oh. You want to jump out of planes and get in gunfights? I've done it, winning. If somebody else is pulling your strings, you're not living that life. They are. You live your life.
Okay, I think I'm gonna go kill myself and blame it on you. Winning? No.
And with that, along this list of crazy negativity and crazy bitches, we now end Narbipolbitchistic. If you know any Narbipolbitchistic women, send them the video, because guess what? That'll ramp up the fun at the family reunion. And if you do send those videos, you might get excommunicated from the family reunion. So that means more money for you because you don't have to buy hotel rooms or gas. So check out our Patreon and PayPal links below and just send us some loot so we can keep doing this. I know that you think these aren't really that expensive, but they burn up a lot of time and we're trying to get compensated for that so we can keep doing this. Because down the road, this shit's gonna get lively up in here and I think you'll love it. And while we're at it, gentlemen, please hit the subscribe button. Because if you do, when you're moving the f out, edit that out. I'll keep your mama busy for you. Winning. And I'm making a flan. The f is that?
What the is a flaw?
Yeah. You're like, what the f is a flan? Edit that out. Whenever I hear that word from now on till my dying day, or when I hear the word flan, I'll see crazy bitches in my mind. You gotta go. You're getting the catapult, we're flipping you over the wall.
Well, he's oh!
I can't tell you how many like fights I've seen dudes have with their wives. I was like right there in the room when the shit went off the handle. I was like, oh, well, I think I gotta go.